On April 29th, 2022, Cherry Payton of Richmond, Texas was sentenced to 30 years in prison. She allowed her 13-year-old daughter to marry a grown man, y'all. She was convicted of continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14 years of age. Stephen Carty is the grown man whom Cherry Payton allowed her 13-year-old daughter to marry. He pled guilty to aggravated sexual assault of a child and sexual assault of a child. He was sentenced to 22 years on the first charge and 20 years on the second charge, set to run concurrently. This is unbelievable to me. My heart goes out to this young child. It's unbelievable, unimaginable, and I can't even fathom. According to Fort Bend County Sheriff's Department, in 2017, a 14-year-old girl told her doctor that she was married and that she had been married since she was 13 years old. The doctor's office then alerted CPS. CPS, in turn, called the sheriff's office to report possible aggravated sexual abuse of a child. Days later, 47-year-old Stephen Carty was arrested. 2 days after his arrest, Cherry Payton was arrested. There were no legal marriage records. Cherry Payton and the victim, who was her own 13-year-old daughter, were deemed married to Stephen Carty based on their Hebrew Israelite faith. Cherry Payton tried to justify all of this by claiming they were following their religious beliefs. The police stated that the child was convinced the abuse that she had endured was her religious obligation. And this is what abusers do. They brainwash. These two brainwashed this poor baby into believing that the abuse that they were inflicting upon her was her religious obligation. Listen, religion or no religion, sexual abuse or any form of abuse against a child is wrong and depraved. You are literally putting this child on the road to destruction and setting them up for failure. This sets the child up for lifelong emotional issues, low self-worth, low self-esteem, depression, and other mental health battles. They end up attracting abusers as their partners, and these partners turn around and re-victimize and abuse them if they don't seek the professional help and counseling that they need. Stop choosing your partner over your child in situations like this. This has got to stop. Now, this mom was probably victimized as a child herself, but that gives her no excuse to turn around and allow this type of thing to happen to her own child. And as a matter of fact, that should have made her overprotective of her child and made her want to step up and ensure that none of this type of abuse or trauma ever happened to her child. It's time to break these generational curses and generational cycles of inflicting abuse and trauma onto these kids. When you have been victimized and abused as a child, you make one of two choices as an adult. You either become the abuser yourself, or you go the other way and you choose to protect and love on your children the way your caregivers should have loved on and protected you. It is a conscious decision either way. This should never happen to any child, period. My heart goes out to this young lady. I pray and hope that she is able to find peace, that she is able to work through any emotional scars or baggage that this would leave on her, and that she's able to go on and live her best life. I pray that she gets the professional counseling that she needs. It is time to protect our children. Protect these children at all cost.